Found him.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
The Academy Cinema's Pick of the Week with John Henderson.
Still Walking is the name of the film we're looking at this morning. It's the Academy Pick of the Week. John Henderson's been and seen it. John.
I thought that was going to be an advertisement for Sunsilk air conditioner.
Well, yeah, or one of those new flash sort of advertisements for a cell phone or something. That's kind of slightly indie. It's got a real life kind of look to it, and then something extraordinary happens.
Yeah, it's got a really good GUI.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's probably the most upbeat and happiest part of the whole film that you've just chosen there.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I selected it. I felt the vibe of the happiness from that particular part of the film. So
we are talking about the Japanese movie Still Walking, which is set in contemporary Yokohama, Japan, and it is actually a very sad movie about a family tragedy.
What kind of tragedy? Can you tell us the tragedy, or would that give it away?
Oh, no. Look, it's released slowly in bits and pieces during the film.
Okay.
But I'm not giving it away
Good.
if I say that it's about the eldest son in the film who drowned tragically in an accident.
Oh, you just gave it away. Okay.
12 years previously.
Yeah.
And I did deny. So it's really all about the family coming to terms with this. So, plot synopsis. Mum and Dad have never really gotten over the fact that JP, the eldest son, died in this accident, and so they are just really still walking, but not really living, just going through the motions. Ryo, who is the second eldest brother of JP, he's coming back to Yokohama from Tokyo, where I think he lives now, and he's bringing his new wife with him and stepson, and he's not looking forward to it at all. He really doesn't enjoy being back with the parents because it's such grim stuff. And also the other thing too is his dad is a doctor who's just retired and had always wanted the son to follow in the family's footsteps. So when JPN died, that sort of died along with JPN, especially seeing Ryo has ended up becoming an art historian. So he fixes paintings rather than people. Dad just can't work it out. What are you doing that for? So this whole movie is really about grief and how people come to terms with it. Probably the only person I found who seemed to have anything together was the younger sister, who's got a young family of her own that she's trying to push forward and get moving.
Yeah.
But she actually wants to move back into the family house, knock down Dad's clinic, because Dad had a medical practice out the front of the house. So, wipe that out because Dad's retired now, build a freestanding townhouse to put her own family in. So she's actually got her own agenda there.
How much does Japanese culture play in the film, or is the theme so universal that that doesn't really come into it?
Yeah, it was really interesting to see how the Japanese do cope with death. I think that this particular family was Shinto. They did have a shrine in the house, and it was still quite a traditional house too. There were tatami mats. There was still quite a bit of sushi being eaten. Actually, this Ryo, he's quite a big guy. He'd probably be 6'1" or 6'2", pretty tall for a Japanese man, and he just kept smacking his head on the tops of the door frame.
Classic.
Because so there was that sort of mix of old and new.
Yeah.
And it was really poignant. I couldn't believe how cruel the mother could be, though. When the eldest son died, he was rescuing this young kid. And so, of course, this young kid's now a young man, and they get him to come back every year as well for this grieving ceremony that they have, this sort of ritual. And that's actually what this movie's about. And so there's this one scene where this young guy who's probably about 23 or 24 now, he's in there, and you can just tell he still feels pretty guilty and devastated for the fact that they lost their son so that he could live. And Ryo sort of, after this young kid's gone, he's left, Ryo's going to his mum, maybe we shouldn't invite him around anymore. I mean, he obviously doesn't enjoy it. It's pretty tough on him. And Mum's just going, I want them to suffer. I want them to feel our pain. I want them to see how much we despise them because we lost our son. So, whoa.
Well, regardless of the theme, John, being such a sad theme, it sounds like something I definitely want to go and see, even if it just transports me back to Japan just for a little bit. Man, I love this country.
In Japan last year, I think.
Yeah, it was this time last year. Yeah, it was in about a week or so. I think I can't wait to go back. I've got to make some time.
Well, you will see a lot of Japan as you remember it. There's a lot of those little winding streets. Sort of set into hillsides where they seem to be pretty good with the use of stone. So the only thing that's stopping the houses and the roads disappearing is the fact that they've built these huge stone buttresses everywhere. You do see them wandering about quite a bit outside. They go to visitors' grave. And yeah, it was a pretty sad, bleak movie for me. I really felt for the second son, Rio. He put a lot of guilt on himself because he couldn't really get the family humming again, even though, hey, it wasn't his job to do that. It was the kind of thing I took from the film was the fact that accidents happen, tragedy can strike, but it's up to you to pick yourself up and move on. And yeah, his parents just didn't do it. Does end on a positive note, though.
All right, well, don't get...
After 98% bleakness, there actually is a little bit of a ray of light.
Okay, good.
Maybe that's that soundbite you had.
Yeah, well, I'll play a little bit more as we go out. John, thanks so much for telling us about Still Walking. It's screening right now at the Academy Cinema.
Nice one, Wammo.
Cheers. See ya.